Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast. If you don't already know, my name is Sarah and this is Dean. We run a wedding photography and cinematography company based in Atlanta. Today we're actually going to be talking about, what is it?
Engagement shoots and why those are very important.
Yes.
So Sarah, go ahead and take that. Tell them why they need to be doing engagement shoots.
It's practice. It's basically getting to know your photographer. It's also getting great photos, celebrating the time that you're engaged, which I feel like people don't really they don't care about as much now. They're just kind of like, oh, we want wedding photos. We want to just kind of focus on that. And when I explain like, hey, you should do an engagement shoot and these are the reasons why, then their eyes kind of open up about it.
I think a lot of people are kind of nervous to actually do it. They don't want to have that real close encounter with the photographer and videographer.
And it's weird.
Yeah, and they don't want to have I don't know, they just sometimes just feel like they don't want to touch and just like all that kind of stuff. But this is really the time to actually get comfortable in front of the camera and stuff like that so you can, be flawless on your wedding day.
Especially if you've never been photographed before professionally, you don't know what it's like. You might not know your best angles or what looks right or how to kind of pose even. That's a question I get a lot from brides is, well, I don't know what to do when I'm, in front of the camera. I don't know how to pose. And I'm like, you don't need to worry about that too much. And the best way to kind of, take that hesitation or worry away is to practice. And that's by doing an engagement shoot and making it fun.
Another thing that is good for is just to actually let us get to kind of know you as a couple. And that's before the actual wedding day, because if we can see your angles that you like and, kind of what's awkward and what's not awkward working with you, then we're not going to make those mistakes on your wedding day. And it's good to kind of get all that kind of stuff out at the beginning, on a day that's, take an hour, maybe 2 hours shoot. Just go out with us and, have fun with it.
And it really breaks the ice so that you're not just we're not showing up on the wedding day meeting you guys. And that's something I used to do back in the day because people would always want to take out the engagement shoot just to help with budget. And I kind of always would be like, oh, okay, I'll take it out. And then I just noticed that over time, I was showing up and just meeting them and just kind of having to figure it out that day of how do they act together? What's their relationship? And it's almost awkward because it's like you're just meeting for the first time.
Yeah, it's just meeting a stranger.
Yeah. So when you do an engagement shoot, you pretty much get to know your photographer, get to know how they shoot, what their style is. And then if you have any hesitations and stuff about just being in front of the camera, you instantly melt those just because you get comfortable and 10 times out of 10, when people do engagement shoots, they feel so much more comfortable and easy. And then that way, when we get into the wedding portraits, you already know what to do. You're kind of just seasoned in it and you know where you're supposed to look and how you're supposed to touch and that kind of stuff.
Right. So for me, I like to practice sequences and stuff like that. So get a big variety of different types of shots. And then with that being said, they're going to kind of get used to how I like to work when I'm shooting my videos. And then whenever it's the day of the wedding, you're not going to be confused on why is he shooting my shoes when I'm walking here. It's going to make more sense when it's actually on the day of your wedding. You're not going to be thinking about these things.
Oh, yeah. And it's good to kind of personalize it and, stick to something you like to do together. We have an engagement shoot coming up Tuesday, so a day from today. And I've been planning with the bride for the last few months, and we were kind of picking where we wanted to do it and that kind of stuff. So we nailed down the location, which would be the Beltline downtown Atlanta, because they're kind of a more hipster vibe couple and just they want to have more of a date night look. And I love when they incorporate ideas like that, because then you're just not taking pictures in front of a tree, which is the cliche thing. I think everyone says, oh, you take engagement pictures, you're going to go just in a park and that kind of stuff. Get creative with it. Have fun.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, most people kind of get stuck with that kind of stuff on their wedding day. So this is really the only time that they have to really get creative and get those shots that, when they look back at it 20 years later, they're going to be like, wow, that reminds me of when we used to be that age. We used to, go drink Cokes and stuff in Marietta Square and stuff. I remember that shoot. Also, we wanted to go ahead and play a quick clip of one that we did in California that we had a lot of fun doing. The couple was really into each other and very laughy,
Playful, the
yeah.
perfect couple. And they were so easy to work with. And actually, funny thing, they were not engaged. And that was like the funny thing about the whole thing was that when she had sent the video to her family, her mom was like, did he pop the question? Or like, where's the ring? And that's what it was. It was like hashtag where's the ring? And it was more so because we had wanted to shoot out there and I had wanted to meet her. She's an awesome Indian dress designer, Shop Kaina, if you want to check her out. Beautiful designs, and she wore one of her pieces. So we just kind of did like a styled couple shoot, mimicking like a engagement shoot, and that has turned out to be one of our top videos.
Yeah, just because they let go and just had fun with it, they weren't worried about, oh, if our parents see us hugging and
or
all that kind of stuff.
kissing,
Like, who cares? Who cares about all that? Because this is your life. You should live it the way you want to. So for
live
the
your
next
best
minute,
life.
let's go ahead and play the video for the next minute.
All right.
Obviously, you're not always going to be lucky enough to have a Malibu sunset and the waves crashing and all that. We can still do some cool stuff pretty much anywhere we are. Just do some research, find a good location and stuff like that. But also, with that being said, we wanted to give you a couple tips today on how to prepare for your engagement shoot. So I'll let Sarah take over and talk about that.
So one thing I highly recommend is scoping out the location. And the great thing is this bride that I have been talking to that we're going to shoot on Tuesday has already been to like the area, and she went and actually took some pictures of some spots she really liked. And she almost kind of mapped it out of like the locations we wanted to hit. And then we were able to plan together like, okay, let's do the first outfit at this location and then maybe an outfit change for the night time. Because we're doing a more like golden hour sunset type of shoot. So with that, I do allow that our clients can get outfit changes. So she'll do 2 different outfits. And we always recommend doing something more kind of casual and playful type of like a regular day, like a date type of thing, as well as something a little bit more formal. Because what you can do is use these pictures on display at your reception, also for save the dates. That's great because you can actually put them on a little card or Evite, and that way people can like see your pictures and even your wedding website. So those are great options to use the engagement pictures. But yeah, getting back to the tips. Like scout it out, find the spots you want to shoot, communicate to your photographer, and just kind of make a plan together so everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, it's always good to let us know your ideas and even like do some screenshots of other, engagement shoots you've seen that you kind of like the poses and stuff. Obviously let us work. We don't want to just be looking at the phone trying to mimic all this stuff. But, just to give us a general idea to kind of work with. And then also if you send us photos of the location, that kind of gives us a better vision of, okay, this is what I know I can go in and do. So
yeah. And that's what helped. Like she showed me a bunch of different spots and like I was able to figure out, okay, this is what's going to look best here. And then we'll do an outfit change and end the night like with the skyline with that dramatic like red gown and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that because also we haven't shot anything in a while now.
Yeah, it's been, I think that the shoot we
January.
just showed you was in January.
Yeah.
So that was our last actual
Official shoot.
Yeah.
So it's just going to feel so good to shoot again. And we can't wait. But back to tips. Something else I recommended is actually the day is crazy with getting ready sometimes and just, figuring out what all you need to take, jewelry, clothes for outfit changes. Like it's almost like a little mini wedding type of thing. So you're going to have a lot to think about.
Makeup, hair,
yes,
hair and makeup.
Get your hair and makeup done, which that's another tip. Actually, I'll do that one first. If you do plan on having your trials done, do it on the day of your engagement shoot. And why this is great is because basically you'll get a sense of that makeup artist style. Your hair and makeup will be already done for the shoot. So you'll feel like amazing and comfortable and confident. And nothing feels better when like everything's done and you feel good. So you want that.
Or on the other hand, you can get the worst makeup job and realize that on this day rather than your actual wedding. So
which we've had that.
Yeah, you want to go through this process before your wedding, not on the day of.
And also communicate with your makeup artist. So if you find that like it's too cakey or just doesn't feel like you, tell them and get it right to where you feel comfortable. Don't feel like, you have to get your pictures taken this way, which we've had a bride get her makeup done and she was kind of the type that, just was all natural and not used to any makeup. And the thing is the makeup artist did just regular makeup, which for photo and video, it does have to be packed on like a little bit to where you can see it. That's just the way makeup works. And it looked beautiful on her, but she didn't feel comfortable and it ended up just making the shoot get late.
It made her feel a lot more insecure about it.
It did. She was just like almost crying and stuff and just really upset. And I talked to her.
There might have been a tear.
I think
there were some tears.
There were probably a lot of tears actually, but we try to calm them down about it because her fiance picked her up and we were just like, blot it down, get it to where you feel like it's manageable and it looks like you. And like at the end of it, she looked incredible because I feel like she felt like more like herself. And then I just kind of helped her when she came and she kind of explained to me what happened. I was like, you look gorgeous and you don't understand that the way she did your makeup was for pictures and for video. Because if you don't do enough, it's not going to show up. And just that's the law of like makeup. You have to do a little bit more. So if you're not used to getting your makeup done, definitely start to put it on more and stuff, especially like get comfortable with how you look with it because you are going to have your makeup done at your wedding and you want to feel great and radiant. So that's that tip. Get your hair and makeup done before your engagement shoot. Also for guys, get manicures. Also for girls, get your manicures because we do a lot of nails are nice and clean because hangnails and just like dirty nails and stuff, they don't look good. So you want to just make sure your hands look good. Your guys that you're shaven and like, proper, like as if this is like your wedding. So look
I have
good.
another tip if
you go ahead.
Yeah, want another one real quick? Stay hydrated and eat.
That was the next tip.
Yeah, make sure you eat before the engagement shoot because it's going to be, even if it's like 2 hours long, you're going to start getting hungry.
That's exactly what I was going into.
I think I picked up on that.
I had actually texted her today and I was like, I know the day is going to get crazy and you're just going to like forget things. Do not forget to eat and also bring energy bars and water to keep hydrated because you're going to need to feel like, at least comfortable with yourself with like the food situation and stuff. You don't need to be hangry. That's the biggest thing, which we've seen so many couples.
Yeah, we'll see a couple like bring a little fake picnic and stuff and like they're like,
actually
can we get into the picnic yet? Because we're hungry.
And it's just inevitable, which it's fine. And even with us, I think we're going to kind of hit some like the bars and stuff in Atlanta and do some shots of them like they want to drink together and just have some fun, which we can do too, because that looks great just to have that date night look. but also like just while you're in the car changing or and that kind of stuff, just have a quick bite. Cause that way you feel full. You're not getting tired. That's also another thing that happens is if you shoot for too long, you're going to get tired. That's normal. Like
Yeah, you just have
human
to be
nature.
prepared for it. Because that's another thing I was going to say is also, if you have the extra time, go ahead and get like a 3 to 4 hour engagement shoot. Because we've had that luxury in the past, and you just have way more time. You don't have to feel rushed. You can get multiple shots, change outfits, all that kind of stuff. You can take a little break if you need to. And also if you just plan it accordingly. So like if you're trying to get the sunset, make sure it's like 3 hours before the sunset, because
You want to get that.
the golden hour, and then you can even shoot like an hour past sunset and you're still going to get some pretty good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the light is gorgeous no matter what at that time, I feel like. But also another good tip that I just thought about was having some help. So have a friend, someone that can help you get ready, can hold stuff. How many times have we had to like
they
all
try
haul
to throw
stuff?
me their jacket,
And
like,
it's
I'm
hard.
carrying a purse and a backpack, and then I'm just trying to shoot, and it just kind of distracts us from being able to do what we want to do.
It does. And then if you have that extra help, you're not worrying about like, oh, I need to get this stuff in order. You have someone, helping you with your clothes, helping you with your jewelry, getting everything right. And it's just ends up being your saving grace at the end of the day because you have that extra hand. So definitely consider having some extra help, having someone that just doesn't care to like spend the afternoon with us, which the thing about us is I think we're kind of cool. Like I think we're cool to hang around with. So it feels like it's just friends hanging out at the engagement shoot, and it doesn't feel like this high pressure, like, oh my God, everything needs to be perfect. Like we're usually laughing a lot of the time and making jokes and just getting to know the couple, because this is usually the first encounter that you are having with the couple. And usually I meet with them or I do some kind of FaceTime, and I have met with them, the couple we're about to shoot, and they're awesome, super laid back. And I can't wait for Dean to kind of get a feel for it too. Cause I mean, it's a good chance for the whole team to basically just get to know each other. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'll do another tip.
Oh, Dean's got the tips
I've got the
today.
tips. I like engagement shoots just because, like, the wedding is so stressful. This is really where we're all getting to just really create and kind of make whatever we want to out of the day. Something good is to not only think about your location where you're at. Like you can book a e-shoot pretty much anywhere in the nation because we travel. I'm sure most people do, as long as you take care of the accommodations. But in my opinion, you can either go to the park or you can go find a nice mountain landscape somewhere. Or like the video we showed you guys in California, you go shoot something on the coast and have just something way more epic, other than Piedmont Park. I had to say it.
I know.
Everybody wants to shoot at Piedmont Park in Atlanta.
And I understand that. Like
it's iconic, but it's also
it is.
It's overdone.
It's overdone. So if you are looking for locations, just know there's other options. Talk to your photographer, talk to your friends, even just go explore, like go figure out different spots in Atlanta. I've seen tons of great engagement shoots in parking garages where you can see, you remember we did that one?
Yeah, you can definitely find other views of the city. It's not just, that's not the only place, which we're not knocking you if that's what your goal is, to shoot at Piedmont Park.
It's just fine too. And I understand the deal with Piedmont because people love the diversity. You have the skyline, you have the nature, you have, just a lot of classic Atlanta looks, which is great, but just don't feel like that's the only thing you can do. Like there's more you can get creative with. Even actually, if you think back to like your first dates together. You remember when we did this with Mavish and Andrew?
Mm-hmm.
We went to like Decatur. That was kind of like their area, and we had like the date night look, but it was kind of where they had, their times together. And it turned out really special because also she works for Coca-Cola. So she was able to bring these like vintage Coke glasses, which like touches like that, like real personal, heartfelt things. They just make your shoot way more like you at the end of the day.
Yeah. And if it comes back to like talking about the video, we can really make this something more memorable, because even our New York couple, we want to go back up to New York and do
Oh
a
yeah.
shoot with them. The guy, he's really into like fitness. He's into nice luxury cars, and the female, she's actually in college still. And so we're kind of like coming up with this whole idea. We're going to go back to some of the places they had their dates, you know, within the first few months of being together. We're probably going to use his cars as props to go pull up and save the girl. I'm not going to get into too much detail because that's a future thing that you'll see later. But yeah, basically we're trying to do things a little bit outside of the box. We don't want to just have a 1 minute video of you two walking
And staring at each
and
other.
stare, hug, look at
Stare,
her,
hug.
look at her, look at him,
Laugh, look down.
yeah.
I mean,
It's for us, it's really repetitive, and we are really big on just personalizing everything to you guys. And
sharing the story,
yeah,
because at the end of the day, you got to think like when your kids are going to look back on like all of your pictures and your videos, and they're going to be like, oh my God, y'all were so cool. Y'all did this. And like, that's a visual representation of your relationship and just kind of preserving that time as it was. Like, I would have loved to see something like that of my parents and be able to, you know, treasure that, especially since my dad has passed away. And like, ever since then, any bit of video I can find of him, I'm just like obsessed with. So it's stuff you don't really think about in the process of getting married because there's just so many other things to think about. But at the end of the day, personalize it, make it your own, to have fun with it, and just like relax, because this is a day to have fun. This is a day to get to know your photographer and cinematographer. And it's just a way to like remember this time of being engaged, which like a lot of people just seem to forget that time because I don't know why.
any more tips?
Let me think if I can think of
How about talk about props?
props. Okay, so with props, I say just don't overdo it. Like, you don't have to just get crazy with it and have frames, and that kind of stuff is more on the cheesier side of things. But if you're into that, that's cool too. Just communicate with your photographer and just say, hey, I do like this kind of shot or anything like that. But there's small things you can get, like how you were saying the picnic basket. We were kind of doing that for a while, and because it makes it more interactive, like you can feed each other food and just kind of hug together and just be all cute couple like, which is nice. Also, we've seen like the little coffee mugs and stuff where they get it personalized with like Mr. and Mrs. There's a ton of great different like props you can do. And I say get on Pinterest, type in engagement shoot ideas, and just go from there. Also,
Again, personalize it to yourself.
Personalize it
don't
to,
just do what everybody else is doing.
because also we had one couple where they actually met at a carnival. And you remember that we went to the carnival with them because that was their story. That's where they had their first date together, and they wanted to kind of preserve that memory. And I'm so glad we did, because it was so them, and they were able to just kind of relax and have fun and actually play games and just be in the moment together. So that was a good time.
Yeah, that. And then we've also done like ice cream shops where they have the ice cream and stuff like that. The
Yeah, I
Coke
remember that.
bottles,
The Coke.
because the girl worked at the Coca-Cola factory.
What else have we done? I'm trying to think.
Lots of stuff.
We've done
Lots of
so
stuff.
much.
But yeah, basically just really try to get stuff that's going to relate to you guys, and maybe even how you met, or just things that you both enjoy. We did a shoot at someone's house.
Which one?
You remember the one we did at the house? We're going to try not to say names on here.
Tell me with your eyes.
Where the guy was the house builder and the girl, you know, they were looking at the iPad.
Oh, where they built, or like it was their first house
Yeah.
together. That was really nice because he was able to get some really great like sequences, and it was just a cool video because it was them.
Yeah, basically they were just sitting on the couch at their house that they had built, and just watching the engagement shoot on an iPad.
Yeah.
So we were trying to get a little creative on that one too.
Just a little bit different because, you know, why have something like everyone else? Why not have something that's tailored to you and like kind of shares your story? Because what's better than a good story?
Yeah. Also, if you have a dog,
Oh, yeah.
we've shot that kind of stuff before?
Definitely. And if you have that friend that helps, they can help, corral the dog and just keep it in place so you don't have to worry about it. And we don't. And that way you get some great shots with your dog, because I know a lot of people are dog people and just
I'm
want to
kind
have
of the
them
dog
involved.
whisperer though, so I'll
They'll
make
come
sure
to
that
him.
they actually look at the photo too. That's a bonus. Usually you would have to pay more for that.
Dean has a way with any animal, actually.
I have no
They'd come
idea.
to him for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's your eyes.
Who knows?
But yeah, I think that's a good bit of tips, just to kind of get you guys ready and also educate you on why engagement shoots are important. So next time you get a quote from your photographer and you see that engagement shoot, do not be quick to take it out. I know that
For us, yeah, we don't even charge for our engagement shoot.
Yeah,
Unless we're traveling. If we have to travel somewhere, you'll have to pay for travel. But
yeah.
we don't charge because we know how important it is to actually get that taken care of.
It is. And for a while I was taking it out, and I noticed there was a pattern that for the couples that didn't have that engagement shoot, it was just a little bit more of a struggle to get them to be comfortable and to get the shots that I wanted. So then I was just kind of like, okay, I have to make it a kind of a requirement that like, hey, you have to do this engagement shoot just because I need to get to know you. Like that's part of, my business plan.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's a good bit of tips.
Where can they follow you?
They can follow me on This Modern Love Photo on Instagram. If you want to check me out on Facebook, This Modern Love Photography, and then website www.thismodernlovephotography.com. If you like this video and you want to see more, please leave me a comment, a like. Don't forget to subscribe and share this with friends and stuff. So if you know anyone getting married, just let them know that there's some education out there now.
And also a book.
Yes, we have a book coming out very soon called How to Be a Bride, which is a guide for brides just being able to prepare for their own wedding. So I look forward to everyone seeing that. And thanks for tuning into this podcast episode. We really enjoyed just kind of talking about it and going through the process. And we hope you guys enjoy your engagement shoots. Thanks, guys.